What made you unique?
Well, I think it's I prepared to be a coach. Well, I was an engineer, actually, a toolmaker. When I completed my apprenticeship, I went full time. At that point, I made my mind up I was not going back to engineering. So I took all my badges, my coaching badges. So I prepared to stay in the game. And there are some players who don't make their mind up about staying in the game until they're in their 30s. I was determined at 22 years of age I was going to be prepared to stay in the game. So that was the starting point. Come to the club with United, I had a conviction of what I believed in. I wanted to build the foundation of the football club through the younger players. I like younger people anyway. I think that you give them opportunities, they can surprise you, but also they create a loyalty base that you never forget. They always remember the coach who gave them his first chance in football. And time through that, we had longevity. It's a very rare thing in football today because it's a result industry. Coaches could lose 3 games in a row, they could be sacked. You know, that Brendan Rodgers this week, 8 games or 9 games into the season, loses his job. And that's the kind of industry it's in. Because of the longevity, I was able to plan ahead. I was consistent. The consistency is a really important issue in terms of a football club, that everyone understands the same guy walking in that door, the same coach is going to be all there all the time. It eradicates confusion. There's no changes of personnel all the time. When a new coach comes in, he brings his own staff in. He loses his job again, another staff comes in. So that inconsistency is not healthy. So the longevity I had and the long-term view of the club, I was able to plan ahead. The consistency was important. And I think these were important issues in terms of creating the success we had at United. Well, I never felt I was ever going to be sacked. It never worried me. I was determined to go on the road that I chose, and eventually people at Bobby Charlton were fantastic. When I took the job, I told them exactly how I was going to go about the job. I was going to build in youth. I was going to get back to the years of Mark Busby in the 50s, and he developed that great stream of players. And Bobby was completely supportive. So was the chairman, Martin Edwards. So on the youth side, everyone knew there was great progress. Obviously, the first team was a concern. They were second bottom when I came, and all I was concerned to make sure we survived in that particular season. The next season was second actually, but I knew we couldn't win the league with that team. There was maybe too many players who had so many challenges that maybe they'd run out of challenges. So we did a fire sale in 1989, sold about 9-10 players, and brought in 5 new players: Paul Ince, Danny Wallace, Mike Phelan, Gary Pallister, and Neil Webb, who was a bit unlucky. He got a bad injury with England, and his Achilles, and it sort of put him back a bit. But they were fresh players who could accept challenge, and the desires. They had good desire. So that changed the direction we're going. And by that time also, Ryan Giggs was coming through, Lee Sharp was coming through, Lee Martin was coming through. They were starting to get a semblance of youth and energy into the team.
In your book, you speak about your disappointment that Pep Guardiola didn't retain your calls. Was he the man you saw as maybe heir apparent to you at Manchester United?
It's difficult to say because at that point I was not going to retire. You know, I was thoroughly ensconced in the job. And what changed for me was my wife's sister dying in October, and I think that I was due something back to her because she'd sacrificed all her life to live in my excesses, my obsession with football, and that's not easy because when you're running a club at Manchester United, your time is there, your time is not at home, and that's not a nice thing to say, but it's a fact. You know, my sacrifice was at Manchester United, so I think I was due giving her something back, and I decided to retire that Christmas. So it's very difficult to say. Timing is everything they say. At that moment, I was staying at United.